What's good, everybody? What's going on? What's good? What's good? Knicks Real Talk. Preseason recap. Knicks end of the season player review. Man, Mitchell Robinson played number 4 tonight. We'll get into the Mitchell Robinson scenario tonight. Man, talk about Mitchell Robinson's season with the New York Knicks 2021, 2022 season. We'll get into all that. Get a pop. I got my partner in crime here with me. Child Powell, we in the building. Man, what's good, brother?
Salute to you, Divine. Salute to the chat. Let's get it.
Yeah, real talk, man. We here, man. You already know what it is, man. Beautiful Sunday, quiet Sunday, man. We here just talking some Knicks, man. Players. We gonna go over the Mitchell Robinson season today, man. And get into it, man. So I'm glad to be here. Salute to the chat, salute to everybody. Nice, quiet, beautiful Sunday up and down the coast, man. Beautiful weather. We just in here just chilling, man. So me and Shop Powell's in the building, man. Salute to KJ. I know my brother out there doing what he got to do, but we hopefully see him now. Salute to my brother. But yeah, man, we're gonna get into it, man. We're gonna get into Big Mitch, man. Big Money Mitch, man. We're gonna get into him. Talk about his season, man. He had a decent season for the Knicks this year. Probably one of his better seasons, Shop Powell, he had since he been a Knick, man. He played almost 72 games. He played almost 72 games this year, man. So that was good to see, man. He really got it in this year, man. And I'm happy to see that. It's one of the years where he played more games than ever. You know what I mean? Usually he don't pan out too well, but he had played 72 games, had a full season. So I'm glad of that, man. We're gonna get it to him, man. I'm hoping that the Knicks be able to bring this boy back, man. I think he'll be a big part of this thing. And we're gonna get into that, break all down this what he did this year, his highlights, his stats, his money, and we see what's going on, man. But I'm happy about the way Mitch performed this year, and I'm hoping that him and the Knicks can come to an agreement and lock him up for the next 3 or 4 years, whatever the case may be, and let him be part of this young development we got going on, man. Because I think the man could do some good things for us.
I concur, Divine, man. I believe Mitch could be our first big time player that comes back and we re-sign him. I hope that's one of the things that happened this year, that we sign Mitch. I mean, he's been here his whole career right now, and hopefully, he finds a way to stay here. I think this season he could probably in the immense of this new young crew that he has right now, I think they could really grow together and be a real strong Eastern Standing team for a long, long time.
Yeah. I'm looking forward as well, Shop House. I'm really looking forward to him on that front line, man. I think Mitchell Robinson earned the right to come back and play for the New York Knicks, man. And I think he really helped us up there big time this year, man. Especially with the absence of Nerlens Noel, who couldn't really give us nothing. We had to depend on mix and match with Jericho Simpson and Todd Gibson, the old and the young and the old. But Mitchell Robinson held it down for us, man. He played some good basketball for the New York Knicks, and I'll break down the stats in a minute, man. I think he really played a good year for us. So, I think him and the Knicks will come to an agreement. And I think they tried to do it in the season, but it just didn't work out. But I think they get it done before the season start. Hopefully he stay here, man. I seen him on Twitter with his old coach, and then he had a shirt that said New York and nowhere. You know what I mean? And so hoping that shirt really means a lot to him. That means that he want to be here. He said it's New York at nothing, or some of that. Yeah, New York at nothing, something of that nature. So let's hope that salute to Cash Out, my brother, salute him, KJ, salute to the chat, salute to y'all. But let's hope Mitch can be in this fold, man. I would love to see him get a chance to start, especially if they're gonna bring Obi Toppin up in this joint at the power forward. I love to see Mitchell Robinson and him and Obi Toppin with that loud threat going on down there. I think that'd be really be nice to see. And I think that'd be dope, man. So let's hope that this brother can get in here and get it popping, and him and Nick can get this thing. They've been playing on a $1 million contract for 4 years in a row. And I think he understands the situation that with his injury history and everything that but he played, like I said, 72 games, man. I'm impressed. Mitch, I'm really impressed, man. So if he can give us 72 from here on out, then I don't think the injury issue will be a problem. But let's hope that he can take care of himself. I know he's probably in the all season trying to make it happen too. I think he's gonna come back a monster even more. That's why I'm hoping the Knicks sign, because I think he's gonna go into the all season knowing that he ain't coming into this regular season this year with coming off an injury. He's coming fresh out of training camp, no injury to be bothered with and everything like that. So I think he's gonna be looking forward to really getting up here and mixing it up, man, with these guys and get it popping. So I think that would be really interesting for me.
Yeah, I believe Mitch is going, like you said, Divine. He's going to come in. He's going to be ready for the season. He really was pretty no major injuries this year. And what can you say about Mitch, man? I'm a homer for Mitch, man. I want Mitch to stay here, man. I think Mitch can with his offensive rebounding, with his defensive blocking. If he could play uh, the beginning of the year like he played the end of this year, I think we're going to have a good start to this season and stuff like that, because we'll have a different mix of players out on the court this year, and I think there'll be some changes, like I said, and with Mitch being that centerpiece, with RJ's on the wing, I think we have something going. Those guys work out very well as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. Especially after looking at the NBA playoffs, what's going on right now. And I don't see too many people, doing what Mitch doing there. You know what I mean? And it's interesting to see. I mean, Robert Williams starting to get back into his zone, but I think Mitch is different, man. When I showed the highlights of what Mitch was doing this year, his rebounding, his field goal percentage, his block shots. I mean, this cat he be on it, man. I don't see too many people with the energy Mitch got, man. I really don't, Shot Powell. And I'm not saying that because he's a Nick. I'm just saying that because of what I see from a basketball talent. This cat be getting it though, man. I mean, he's as one player, man. This cat went up for 3 offensive rebounds off of 3 misses. I'm like, whoa, this he just is not. He's relentless. He's just a relentless rebounder. He got athleticism about the, the kid just he just nice like that. And I think with the right point guard, you'll get a better Mitch this year. I think you get the right point guard up in there, whether it's quickly or whoever it may be. I don't know who it's gonna be, but if it's somebody that could lead the Nick basketball team in the starting lineup when he in there, I guess they could know when to get him the ball. I think his production would go up even more if we get the right point guard in there who know to see him when they can see him. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm really looking forward what the cat can do coming to this season. I hope the Knicks can lock him up. Let him be part of this thing. I would love to see him and RJ get an extension. When it's time for them to get extensions. I mean, especially what we know Mitch time is now. RJ, honestly, either October or the end of whatever the season, at the end of the rookie deal. But I'm dying to see Mitch get that extension, man. I just think he's been here, man. 1.5 million 1 year, 1.4, 1.6, 1. Let's get a man some money, man, and say, you know what? He been a soldier for the Knicks, man. Plagued with an injury, but and I think he had a lot of injury, but he didn't have a lot of injury because in his rookie year, he missed 16 games. That was the most. But in that year, in 2019, 2020, he only missed 5 games. It was a shortened season. It was 66 games. It was a shortened season because of the bubble. He only missed 5 games that year. And then last year, I believe the year, but last year that's where he had the big injury. And he missed 41 due to the fact of the foot injury. But this year he played 72 games. So that's pretty good to see, man. And I think that we can lock him down and hold him down and keep him in his fold. Let that young boy get in there with these young guys. He's still a young dude too. You know what I mean? Shot Powell's only 24. Not like he's an old guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's 24 years old. So he came in the league probably when he was 19 or 20. And now I think he's ready to go to that next level. So let's see if him and the Knicks can come to agreement with his agent. They all sit down at the table, man, and sign on the dotted line and give him some more time in New York.
I just hope they can sit down and bust some numbers together, man. Anywhere from 13.5 to 15 million. Hold Mitch here, give him, and you can sweet. I'll say this. I don't know how if they could do this, but I believe they could do something like the incentive thing. The incentives is something that can boost you up past the number. I mean, get you closer to the numbers that you want to get. The money that you want to get, but you have to invest into yourself. I mean, you make the incentives, you get that money.
Mm-hmm.
And if we lose Mitch, I do not believe we'll be a better team with Randall. No, I think
Oh no.
If possible, what I mean. I think Randall may be suited for someone else. So if we can put Obi and get someone to help Obi out on that power forward position, I think Mitch would be a big part of holding us down. I see, like you said earlier, Divine, like you always say, and I see it, I concur. Mitchell Robinson and Sims in the backcourt for the next couple of years would be a good tandem to really come into the guard with.
Yeah, I believe that as well and the reason why I say that is because you gotta remember nobody offers rebound like like Mitchell Robinson on the Knicks. So if you lose Mitchell Robinson, who's gonna be that offensive rebounder? You know what I mean? Sims is decent, but I don't know if he relentless like Mitchell Robinson is. Mitchell Robinson does a lot of things that nobody on that Knicks team would do. That's why he got the highest PER on the Knicks, 20 point something PER. He got the highest PER on the Knicks, highest field goal percentage on the Knicks. He's the best rebounder on the Knicks, best shot block on the Knicks. I mean, that's why I think reason why he need to get his money, because he do a lot of things that a lot of them guys don't do, and we limited with size as it is. You know what I mean? But I do think when I look around the league and see the Click Capellas and all these guys, man, and I'm like, Mitchell Robinson can handle a lot of these dudes, man. You know what I mean? And with granted, and he, you know, when you go up against the creme de la creme centers, obviously, you know, he no matter who you playing, if you playing somebody that's top of the food chain, you ain't gonna be able to deal with him. That's any position. Like I said, when you go up against KD, you ain't always gonna be able to go to stop him. But at least Jason Tatum are doing a good job anyway. But when you playing the creme de la creme players, obviously they're always gonna do what they got to do. The only thing you can do is try to slow them down. But I think, but other than that, there ain't too many people out there that can hold Mitch when he on, man. So after this year, I was watching what he did. I was like, you know what? You bring him back, man, and I think we'd be good there. I think the center position in New York could be locked up for the next 3 years because Jericho Simmons is on a rookie deal. He still got 3 years left on that deal. But he had a two-way rather. You know, obviously they probably want to converting that to a full contract. So if you can lock him and Mitchell Robinson up, you know, and keep it moving. You know, so and I think that's what they need to do, man. I think Mitch is a big part of this thing. Him and RJ, he's about the longest tenured dude in here. I agree, Cash Out. I second that, man. You know this cat can come in here next year and get busy. You know what I mean? He's probably the longest tenured Nick we got right now. You know what I mean? Be honest with you.
He is.
He is the longest tenured Nick on his team. Everybody
He
else,
is.
you know, and so it was once Knox, but you know, he's not here. So I think you've got a chance to you know, sign this man to extension and let him be in the full. I think they will though. I think they will. I just think it's all about coming to a you know, agreement on the numbers. He's a Tom Thibodeau type player. You know, Tibbs ain't gonna want to just let him walk. I don't think that makes no sense to me. And
I,
you know, go ahead, brother.
I was just saying this because like I said, I'm going to say this again. I'm a homer for Mitch. If we go out to look for another center, Aiden, Turner, big name, those. Let's just say those two guys. What are we going to pay those two guys to come here? We don't have no money really, so we had to make a trade. But will we bring those guys in here and pay them 18 to 20 million dollars when we got Mitchell Robinson right here? I don't know. That's my problem. We bring in Aiden. Aiden is, I think he's making like 20
He won
20
the Mac.
mil.
Yeah,
Huh?
he do the Mac extension.
Right. So we looking at Turner. Turner's making about
18.
20, 18, 20 million dollars. If we could get Mitch and hold Mitch to $15 million, man, even if they could go 15 and give them incentives to get them almost to 18, $20 million, I think that's a better idea than giving one of these guys 18, $20 million. We don't have it anyway. So we will have to sign Mitch. I don't know how we're going to sign Mitch this year. I don't know what it's going to be, how we're going to shred the contracts and move some pieces to make some cap space and all this other stuff. But I mean, how are we going to get Aiden and all these other guys that they're going to be paid 20, 18, 20 million and we worried about Mitch getting 15? Say
Yeah,
that, man.
yeah, exactly. And we can go with the cap to sign Mitch probably.
Right.
We nowhere near. I don't think we nowhere near the luxury tax. But I think we're probably moving on from Kemba Walker. You're freeing up some money right there. 9 million. You just all you got to do is move Noel. I mean, like I said, you move Kemba and Noel.
Yeah,
You're
that's it right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
you got Mitch right there. So you know, I think he'd be here, man. I really do, man. I think he really be here, man. And you're right, Cash out 100%. That's why I think people underestimating. You're 100% right, brother. He couldn't work on that game last year because of that foot injury. And he coming into the season, you know, he wasn't really totally in shape. You see what he started doing at the end.
Mm-hmm.
He put up 8 and 8 this year, so he had a really good year for the Knicks, man. And we know let's look at what he did. We go over stats right quick and just to show you the man was showing improvement. The small sample size for Mitch. 2021 season, he played 72 games. You look at his career, the 4 years he's been in New York, 66 games the first year. He missed 16 that year. That year we had 61 games. That was the shortened season because of the COVID. He only missed 5 games that year. Last year, obviously, he missed 41 for the injury. But this year, Mitchell Robinson came back with 72 games. And he had
Hey.
right. Look at that field goal percentage, man. 7.61. I mean, he was doing it. You know what I mean? So he had a good year, 8 points a game, 8 rebounds, close to 8 rebounds a game, 1.8 blocks, 8 rebounds, almost had 9 and 9. one almost one steal per game. So he was really doing his thing this year, man. But I think the numbers don't tell it all. Shot Powell, I think his effect on the game, what he do to it don't take in consideration his PER, how good he was doing it with that. Salute King Ribby, my brother. Salute to you. His PER was the best on the Knicks. He obviously he was you know, averaging more blocks because defense was impressive. He covered for a lot of bad mistakes on the Knicks, man. When we had them guards getting beat all year long, he really covered for a lot of people. So I do think that he did do a good job of holding us down when a lot of our guys was getting beat like the Fourniers and the Kimber Walkers and all those getting beat like turnstiles. Mitchell Robinson was there cleaning up everybody's mess. You know what I mean? So he was enforcing that paint this year, and I think that alone enough. I think that was he got to get the obviously he got to work on his foul shooting this year. Salute my man Soulfinger, salute Soulfinger, King Ribby and everybody. He got to work on that free throw. Once he work on that free throw shooting, Mitchell will be a double. Because you think how many him and RJ Barrett leave a lot of points off the table because of their foul shooting. So once if we can get up to 60%, at the end of the year he was shooting better. You know what I mean? But I don't know if everybody noticed that though. At the end of the season, Mitchell Robinson was shooting better from the free throw line. So hopefully he can continue that. Got the all season to work on it, work on his game, work on his moves. Now he's gonna be in better shape coming out of the season compared to this year because like you say, he didn't play in 9 months. So now coming into the 2022-2023 season, he's gonna be more in shape, more healthier, probably put on a little bit more muscle mass, probably work on his game, working on his foul shooting. So I'm hoping they open him up a little bit, man. That's why I hope we get the right point guard to show his talent because Mitchell Robinson got some talent, but we also need a point guard to put him in position to show his talent because he's not the type of, he's a center. He don't like take the ball off the dribble. I mean, you got to get the man the ball, let him do some work. But like Alex Burkston wasn't head pass first guys. They was shoot first guys. So they really could never get on the ball where they needed to get it to him. But I'm hoping this year change, man. And they could sign him, get a right point guard in here, and take it from there. And I think he'd be fine.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing Mitch has not had in his career being a New York Knick is a point guard. And with the things that I've seen Mitch do, I like I said, I'm saying this because I'm a homer for Mitch. I watch Mitch. I like Mitch. He's a homegrown. We got him here to play all his seasons. I'm a homer for Mitch. I think Mitch has grown. Every year he has grown. I remember the first year that he was here, he couldn't stay on the court. He was foul prone, always on the bench. Maybe the first 2 years he was here, but he started staying out of foul trouble. He started grabbing rebounds. He has the big competition for him grabbing defensive rebounds to me. Like I said, I'm a homer. I think him and Randall. I think Randall grabs the defensive rebounds, and Mitch goes down and grabs all the offensive rebounds. Randall doesn't really grab many offensive rebounds, but he grabs defensive rebounds. So I think that's where the switch comes for Randall. So if we lose Randall, hopefully he could fill in and grab some rebounds, or collectively the team can do the defensive rebounds. Mitch is a lot of the time not always down low to grab defensive rebounds. Majority of the time he switches off and he's always at the top. That's why his against offensive players, he's more prone to play the defense against a offensive player at the 3-point line. Another reason why I believe that he doesn't grab as many defensive rebounds. But I think Mitch is going to get work out. I think he's going to get big, and I think he's going to come strong. And I hope we can hold on to him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's, to me, that's one of the, out of everything other than the point guard, I think that's one of the major priority for the Knicks to bring Mitchell Robinson back. I think if they don't bring Mitch back, I think we like Schofinger said, we kind of going backwards. You know what I mean? You can't underestimate what this young man do for us, man. He changes the game on the defense, and the guy can literally guard from probably 1 to 5. You know what I mean? The cat can guard for 1 to 5. I mean, it ain't too many guards gonna get past Mitch, and if they do get past him, Mitch be right there behind him, lurking, looking to block their shot. He covers a lot of ground for the New York Knicks, man. He like that free safety. You know what I mean? He just all over the place. He covers a lot of area, man. He make up for a lot of our mishaps when it comes to our defenses. So we know hopefully that's the reason why we was back up in getting up in the top 10 this year in defense in a higher echelon compared to the beginning of the season, because I had a lot to do with him. You know what I mean? Because you look at the Knicks starting lineup, other than Mitch, RJ, above average defender, everybody else wasn't like that. You know what I mean? Burks is all right. And Fournier wasn't, in Randall, because of some of his lackadaisical play sometime where he not putting out maximum effort. Mitch was him and RJ were the really primary defenders on that squad this year in the starting lineup. So he think about where our defense was this year, probably ranked top in the top 15. It had a lot to do with him. So and I think it's important that we do that, and I'll let this man showcase what he could do for New York for the next 4 years. Get a man fit. That ain't nothing, man. The salary cap going up. Hey, we got Joakim Noah, $6 million coming off the books. You get rid of Kemba Walker, you give him Joakim Noah and Kemba Walker's money. Yeah, that's a done deal. You know what I mean? And then we take it from there. So I'm really interested to see what the Knicks gonna do with Victor Robinson. The man want to be here. Like I said, I seen a shot, a little shot he had on Twitter with his coach. It was his shirt right in front. It's like New York and nowhere. You know what I mean? And I think the Knicks gonna do the right thing because they know he's valuable. Because we don't want him to go to somebody in the Eastern Conference. And next thing you know, we got to go against Mitch 4 times a year. He giving us the business. You know what I mean? So you know it, because we'll be mad, Shy Powell, if he go to a team with a legitimate point guard, and we're gonna be like, man, look at this man doing with a true point guard. And then we know we're gonna be asking ourselves. You know what I mean?
Chicago is one of those places, man. Chicago is looking for a big. Is it Chicago or Miami? I forgot what it was, but somebody's also looking to get the guy from Utah, Gobert. So whichever team that is, they're also looking at Mitchell Robinson as well. And I mean, I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm gonna keep saying this the whole game. I mean, the whole show. I'm a homer for Mitch, but to back up that saying, where else are we going to get someone that can fill in the spot that Mitchell Robinson does? I know we also talk about getting a stretch 3, and I understand about. I mean, a stretch 5. Someone that comes out like a Turner that could come out and could shoot. Shoot the 3-pointer, so it opens up the lanes for everybody. And I understand that. I understand that part of the game, but is that the game that Tom Thibodeau plays? We also have to think about that. Tom Thibodeau his centers usually play, that grab the rebounds and defend the rim, and I think Mitch is a perfect person for that, man. I think with a point guard, I think Mitch can be easily a 13, 11 guy, a double guy every night. I mean, and I got high hopes for Mitch, so I hope we can hold on to Mitch because, centerpiece, man. He's a dominating center in the East. He's it's not too many centers. All right, we got the Bams out there. We got the Greek Freak or whatever. I don't know if he's really even a center, but the Greek Freak. So aside from them, Mitch is number 1 in offensive rebounds, if I'm not mistaken. And number three in putbacks off of offensive rebounds. So that's big, man. Some of those numbers we wasn't hearing these numbers from Mitch. He used to get. I remember times he got a 10, 12 blocks a game, putting up. But he's been a little bit more consistent this year. Some games he's been off, but that's because I believe he plays a lot of minutes. If the minutes, disparity, could be a little different. He gets a little winded and stuff like that, I noticed. So, but I got hope for Mitch, man. I hope Mitch stays here. Like you said, that shirt, I hope he stays right here in New York.
Yeah. You can't not only that, great points, Soulfinger, but you also can't underestimate what it means to have continuity. You want guys who know your system. See, because it's easy to let a guy go, bring another guy in here, but then now what happens if you bring another guy? He got to learn the system all over again. You know what I mean? See, these guys know each other, like RJ. All these guys know each other. They know. That's why it's important. It's not about because you want to bring in somebody who could do a certain thing. He knows the New York Knicks basketball system. Right. He knows Tom Thibodeau basketball. You bring in another guy, all he gonna do is have to learn how to play in the system. Mitchell Robinson knows how to play with R.J. Barry. He knows how to play with Randall. He knows how to play with these guys already. So that's another reason why it's so important, man. Look at prime example. Look at the continuity with the Boston Celtics right now because them dudes been playing together so long. And look at the continuity with the Brooklyn Nets, and you see why they down. You see what's going on there. Because these guys been playing together. Marcus Smart, these guys been playing together. They've been playing together for 3 or 4 years. And Mitchell Robinson and R.J. Barrett, they've been playing together for 3 years. With Julius Randle, they've been playing together for 3 years. So it's important to keep that continuity on the team, man, that chemistry, because I think he's that important to the Knicks. Can you imagine if you take Mitchell Robinson off this team right now, we would not be in the top echelon in rebounding. You know what I mean? This guy gets offense rebounds like no other, man. I'm gonna throw the clip and I'm gonna put the video of his highlights for the season and just watch some of the things that he do rebounding the basketball, man. I mean, a lot of centers in the league is not doing what this man is doing. He's relentless, man. And I love a relentless guy who go hard in the paint, man. And I think he's only going to get better. So let's drop this right quick. Let's just see this quick little minute, this video I put together of some of Mitchell Robinson highlights, and you'll see why he's important to me, man. 1 minute video of some of the things that he do and how important he is to the Knicks. I really think he's that valuable. Trust me. Yeah, man. I mean, them little things right there, man. The offense rebounding, the relentless pursuit of the basketball. He never give up on the basketball. He always fighting. He always scrapping. The kid just got athleticism out there. You know what? But I mean, he stays around that basket, man. And that's what I love about him. And he stays around there. But he just a force to be reckoned with, man. So that's the reason why I like about him, man. Yeah, I get it. I get it. But Sims still don't do some of the things that Mitch do yet. You know what I mean? And he would get there, but I don't have no problem having both of them. See, that's the thing. Mitchell Robinson and Jericho Sims should be the back. Instead of Nerlens Noel and Mitchell Robinson, let Mitchell Robinson start, and you let my man Jericho Sims coming in clean up behind him. You want two dominant players like that. You don't want to lose Mitch and just have Jericho Sims. Nah, you keep Mitch and you keep Sims. Now when Mitch go out the game, you got somebody coming in pretty much could do what he do. You know what I mean? I think that's so important to get this guy and keep him in the fold, man. Whatever the money may be, like Shy Power said, they'll say if you give him $12 million, and just if you wind up being defense player of the year or all defensive team, you give him more money. If you happen to make he play a certain amount of games, you give him another incentive. But I do think that you should keep him here, man. Eli Wise hit it right on the head, man. That was the biggest. That's the reason why he does that. He cleans up everybody's mess, man. Can you imagine how many times that our point guard got beat in the lane, a la Trae Young, all these guys, man, and Mitch had to come up and try to keep them from penetrating and at the same time back up to get to his center. Can you imagine if you got somebody that can hold these guys from penetrating like that? Mitch can cover even more ground. So I think he's important to be here. Let's hope that the Knicks lock him up. I have no problem with it. I'm a big Knicks. I'm a big dude, man. Let that dude. I'm a big Knicks fan. I'm a Mitch fan. Play with his money. And I think they will. I think they will. I think he want to be here. You know what I mean? I think him and RJ got a good rapport. Him, Obi. I think Mitchell Robinson, Obi Toppin, RJ Barrett, whoever Cam. I don't care who it is. I think that's a nice young nucleus. I was watching that game last night. Shop out that Memphis Grizzly game. If the New York Knicks young squad don't make me think of the Memphis Grizzlies, something wrong. That's what I see. When I see the New York Knicks right now, I see the Memphis Grizzlies. Young and exciting, and they all can go out there and get it, man. And I think we need Mitch in the fold to be there. And I think having Jericho Sims, McBride, Grimes, and all these guys coming in, they only in their second year. They got time to get better. But I do think we lock Mitch up, man. And I'm hoping that's the case for me. I think he's that important to the Knicks.
I'm right there with you, man. And like I said, man, um, if we lose Mitch, who do we get to replace him? I mean, really, let's really just say like that. Who really can we get to replace him? And if we are replacing him with somebody else, how much are we going to pay them?
Facts. Facts.
What is the money amount that we're going to pay them? Because that same money amount that you give to him, you could give it to Mitchell Robinson. You know what I mean? Somehow, some way, if you give it somebody coming in here $20 million, and you could have paid Mitch $15 million with incentives, I think you go the Mitchell Robinson way. That's my point of view. And like I said, I'm a homer. I just don't see no one right now that can fit in as well as Mitchell Robinson is going to fit in with these guys that he's been playing with 2, 3, 4 years with these guys. So him and RJ has a rapport. If we can lessen the load on our wing on our big and our small wings, and put two more athletic running style wings out there with Mitchell Robinson and get him a point guard.
It's a
I
wrap.
think we'll have a great team, and I think we'll see a different part of Mitchell Robinson. And also, Mitchell is talking about, he's been saying that he wants the ball. He doesn't want to be the 48 aerobics up and down the court and all that stuff. So, could you imagine giving Mitch the ball? Maybe if he learns how to get the ball, take one bounce, and make a turnaround hook shot or a jump shot. You know what I mean? This summer, this is going to be a healthy summer for him. Can you imagine Mitchell Robinson coming back and shooting 72% from his free throw shooting from
At least 60.
60% right now? Can you imagine him with Randall not being down there, down on the team, him grabbing 6 or 7 defensive rebounds alongside of 6 or 7 offensive rebounds, maybe a night, 6 and 6. I think he could do that.
Yeah, yeah, man. Especially when you look at the cat, like you look at the Brooklyn, what's the king, Clarkson, Claxton. He's a better version of that to me because Mitchell Robinson can hold a lot of cats down there, man. So I really like to see him. I hope we maintain him. And I really did that. Be what's up, man. But yo, salute to the chat, man. Salute to everybody. Parish, 19 Con, Darren Wayne, my man. Darren, salute. Appreciate you coming in. We already know what it is. A piece of the God, a law wide, soul finger, everybody, man. Thank y'all for coming in on this nice Sunday night, man. Talking Mitchell Robinson tonight. We get into some more talk. We're talking Mitchell Robinson, man. Let's hope the Knicks lock this brother down, man, and let him be a part of this. But I'm all about continuity, man. I think when you go into war with people, you're gonna make sure you want to know who you're going to go into war with. And it's important that cats, who you going to war with. You never want to go to war with somebody you don't know how they fight, you don't know how they get down, you don't know their strength, you don't know their weaknesses. So you can't keep recycling players in and out of, and you don't even know, they know how to blend in with the guy. That's the problem with a lot of teams because you keep recycling players in and out. You're never gonna find that consistency. Knowing each other's tendencies, know where he want the ball at, know where he don't want the ball at, know which side of the ball he want the court on. That plays a major part in a team being successful. And I think because he's been here and he know the system, they know how he get down. It don't make no sense to bring somebody back here that you got to figure it all out again and figure out how the guy you're gonna take a season to give him the head. Prime example, Evan Fournier. It took a half a season for him to learn the continuity with R.J. Barrett and all these guys. Mitchell Robinson has that continuity already. He don't need to. You don't have to worry about bringing nobody in here to figure out how he's going to blend in with these guys. He already blended in. Get a man his money. Let him be part of this thing. And no matter what you give him, just bring him back. Whether it's 15, whether it's 10, I don't know what it is, but I do think that he should be a Knick. You know what I mean? And I just think that's the case, man. You have to let this young man come back to New York, and that's what it is, man. And I think if we get it popping, you know what I mean. Shot Powell, I think he's gonna be important to this team.
I like what Paris said. The 5 years 65. That's about. I was right around there. I said 13.5. I think that's 13 straight. If he could take 13 straight and get
Yep.
those incentives, 2 million if you hit your percentage of free throws over 72%. You know, if you come in offensive top 5 top 3 offensive rebounders this year. We'll give you another 1.8 million. Things like that. That could take that 13 million to 16 million, right around where he could be asking to go somewhere. So if he wants to invest in himself, man, I think that would be the best way for him to do it, man. Invest in himself, invest in the Knicks, and stay with the team that you've been with, that you know how where RJ is going to be when you get ready to drive to the hole. When he gives you that look, see that look when IQ is driving to the hole, and he gives you that look. Let him and Obi play a little bit more together to see how both of these athletic guys could get out on the court together, man. I hope Mitch can stay here, man. I really do.
Like I was telling you earlier, he just had a new photo come out like early in the week. He got a shirt on and said, "Look, New York or nowhere." That's when he was with his high school coach, gave him a jersey right on that shirt. Mitchell Robinson had on New York Knicks or nowhere or nothing. So I don't know if that's true about he don't want to be here. I think Mitch loved New York. He loved he got a good rapport with RJ Barrett and guys, man. You see how they get down together. When RJ Barrett holding the huddle, you see Mitch run out to the floor. He on the bench, he run out. Mitchell Robinson, I don't know. I think that man want to be here. I just think that it's all about business. But I never heard Mitchell Robinson say he don't want to be in New York. I never heard him say that. Not one time, not iota, he ever said he don't want to be a Knick. Now when you're dealing with the science of business, what I mean, obviously it's gonna always play a part because the man is a restricted free agent. I don't think that he don't want to be in New York. I think the reason why they didn't sign him because it's a business. He wanted to go into free agency and see what's out there, which is understandable. You know what I mean? I would do the same thing because granted, if the Knicks offer him 12 million, but somebody gonna offer him 17, you got to be realistic about it. You know what I mean? And I do think that I don't think it's a problem. I think Mitch could be in New York. I do believe that. I just think it's a matter, what the numbers going to dictate. It is because I think if the Knicks feel like they didn't want to if the Knicks felt like they didn't want Mitchell Robinson, they would have traded Mitchell Robinson at the deadline. They wouldn't have lost him for nothing. There's no way the Knicks, unless they do a sign and trade. You know what I mean? Either they do a sign and trade in the offseason, the New York Knicks is not going to lose Mitchell Robinson for nothing. So they either would have traded him at the deadline, which Brock Aller did have a deal on the table for Mitchell Robinson, but the Knicks said no, nada. We're not doing that because I think Mitchell Robinson is part of it. Let's hope so. We finally need to bring somebody. We got to bring somebody back after they rookie deal for once in New York. Him and RJ might be the first ones they ever did, and I think they got to make it happen. You know what I mean? I think it would be the right thing to do to bring these guys back. I believe that. I believe Obi Sims, McBride, I agree, and I think that's an excellent core. I think that's a start.
I do too. That's a
Yeah,
start.
that's a
That's
start.
a start right there. It's
Yeah, real
not
talk.
what we see next year. It's what we see in 2 more years when these contracts come to fruition, like the Obi contract, like the IQ contract, like the Grimes contract. These contracts, these guys build up their stock. We keep what we got. We build up their stock, and this way, if we do want to make a big trade or we want to release some of these guys, we got these guys stocks high. If we could get now we for IQ, we can't get anything for IQ. But at 3 years, if we really want to get rid of IQ, if he plays the way that he can play or should play, or how we all project him to play this year, IQ's stock is up now. He may be only making $2-3 million, but his stock is high now. Now he's worth $12 million if you want to do a sign and trade for him or something like that. Just like Grimes, just like all these young guys that we got, we build this core up right now. We waste because we may not make the play in next year, or we may make the play in next year, or the year after that we get a little better. We make a little. I mean, my thing is just saying we need to keep this young crew together. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Nick's gonna be good next year, man. I like what I seen at the end of the season. I like the scene. I love the way that energy they was playing with Mitchell Robinson, and Obi Top, and Emmanuel quickly. And this was without Grimes because he was injured a little bit.
Yeah, man.
I think that was out without Cam Reddish because he was injured. I like what the Knicks got down there. They got a nice young nucleus down there. They all
Young
young.
rookies, man.
Yeah,
Young rookies.
they all hungry. They all got
I mean,
energy.
young vets.
Yeah. They all got energy. They all hungry, and then they all got skills. We haven't been like this in New York for years, guys. Think about it
Yes.
now. We've been watching it for a minute. When the last time you seen a New York Knicks roster with this plethora of young talent, and all of them could play? So I mean, and to keep these young boys in the fold and plug and play a couple of pieces, I think I'm excited. I'm excited going into next year. Hopefully, the front office makes some right decisions with some of our vets. I think it's time to move on for some of them. And I really believe that. I think we need to move on for some of them and keep these guys, giving these guys more playing time to develop their skill sets, to let them be part of this thing. But I do think you need Mitch in there, um, um, to be the anchor of that team. And like I said, and like Soulfinger and I agree, like, and you could bring Jericho Sims to back up Mitch. That's a good problem right there. A young, athletic young man like him coming behind Mitchell Robinson. So you got two offensive rebounders coming in there. You got two strong cats cleaning up the glass in New York. I think this is the right thing to do. Let's hope the New York Knicks do the right thing by Mitchell Robinson. I think he's earned the right to be here. We love him here, and I think he's making a big difference in New York City, man. Real talk. So let's hope that this cat can get it, and stay here. And I think we be ready to go, man. I'm looking forward to next season with these young boys. I've never been more excited than watching the Knicks team, coming into a season like I thought I was excited this year. I'm more excited next year, but now that I know what we have, knowing that we seen Cam Reddish, we seen Grimes, we seen these guys. I wish the season started today. Training camp. Shy Powell, because I think they got it, man. They got it, bro. I think they got the Knicks finally. I think they finally was patient, and they finally hit on what they did. I think they finally hit on what they did. Now we got the talent in here. We just got to let them go into the off season and groom and get better. And I think these cats gonna pop. I really believe that. And I'm not saying it just to be saying it. I believe that young squad gonna be like the Memphis Grizzlies. I guarantee you that they got it, bro. I just think they got it. And now what it is, we just got to let them all come together and play. Shy Powell, I think we'd be good.
The one thing that the one of the first things that we got to do is, in order for these guys to play a la Grimes and Deuce and IQ and stuff like that, we have to try to shed some of these contracts that we have. And well, if we can't keep Mitch, that's great. But if we can't keep Mitch, what do we do? Do we play Noel as the starting center, and Mitch and Sims to back him up? That could be what they think about. But the main things that we have to do is try to get off of that contract with Noel, try to get off that contract with maybe Rose, maybe Burks, definitely get off the contract with Kemba Walker, and then try to see which one of those bigger contracts, which one can we move on from, if it's Fournier or if it's Randall. And that'll let us know how we're going to open up, because the one thing that, if we get rid of some of those contracts, hopefully we could take some of that money and hold down Mitch, because I think Mitch, if we KJ brung this up earlier in the chat. If we keep Randall and we move on from Mitch, unless we bring in someone like Turner, I don't think we're going to be any better than what we are right now. I don't think that Noel could be the starting center, and Sims comes in behind him to back him up. I don't think that's where we want to go with these young guys running up and down the court and putting Noel into that run and gun style of game. I'm not saying that these guys are going to run a gun, but Mitchell Robinson, if we want to run up and down the court with IQ, with Mitchell Robinson coming down the middle, or with Obi on the left wing and Reddish on the right wing, what you gonna do, man? I think we need to keep someone that's in their age bracket that's going to run and want to win for this team. And I think Mitchell Robinson is that guy.
Good question, Cash Out. Cash Out said, that's a good question. He said, do you rather keep Randall or Fournier?
Fournier,
Fact. Especially because of contract, not skill.
right?
Contract. Yeah. Randall's a 2010 guy, man. It's hard to say that, you'll want to get rid of somebody that good, but like I always say, it's not about his numbers to me. It's about the situation. I like Randall's game. The cat is 2010. If Randall could overcome what he went last year, then we keep him.
No, it's no way.
Can overcome, yeah, if Randall can overcome, the adversity and the fan and the thing with the fans, then I think
Oh,
you keep Randall because I think he's a rebounder. He's a good scorer. He's gonna get you 20 a game. But Randall, regardless of what he went through this year, man, Randall's a talented player, man. I mean, I know he's sour on him because of his antics and sometimes what he do and all that, but he's still a talented player. You know what I mean? The Knicks gave him the money because he's talented, not because he just whatever. He's a talented dude. So yeah, hey, Julian, I'm glad you put that up there, man. We lost so many games because of free throws, injuries, and I think this team was better than people give them credit for. I think we lost a lot of games I think we lost 10 or 12 games just from shooting free throws. You know what I mean? And you can't deny that the Nerlens Noel injury, the Derrick Rose injury, and I think that Kemba Walker situation just kind of screwed us a little bit there. But I do think I hope Tibbs learned something. And like I said, at the end of the season, when I seen Emmanuel quickly drop that game, he went over to the sideline. Shaw Powell and him and Tibbs was hugging at the end of the game. You got to take things like that into consideration. And RJ Barrett, he had an interview on JJ Redick's podcast the other day. 3-point
Mm-hmm.
3-point shot, old man or something like that, whatever name. And he was, this cat. I like the way he was talking. You know what I mean? And I think he coming into the offseason. He got a lot to prove himself. So I think all these guys are going to come back with a lot to prove. I think RJ, Randall, all these guys, man, going to come back with a lot to prove this year. And I think they're going to get in the gym and put their work in and try to elevate themselves to come back and get this team. Like RJ said, he want to get them back to the playoffs. And when you got a young man like RJ saying that, man, he's like, listen, I want to be a leader. I want to work on my mid range. And he telling you what he want to do, what he need to do. So with him and Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, and Cam Reddish, Quentin Grimes, quickly, Obi. The hardest part for me, guys, with the Randall thing, the hardest part for me with the Randall thing, and I'm gonna pass it to Shaw, is the Obi Toppin situation. That's the only thing that got me with the Randall thing is what's gonna happen because I think Obi Toppin might be looking to come with a breakout year, and he's gonna want to play 25, 30 minutes. What happens with that? Unless you put him at the 3, which I would love. You know what I mean? Though if you do move Fournier, I don't have no problem with Obi Toppin playing a 3. I really don't. There's a lot of threes in this league his size. I mean, you look at LeBron, you look at all these guys with the way they playing down there. He can handle the 3, especially if that 3 ball be kicking Shaw Powell. If his 3 ball get better, then I think Obi Toppin can play 3 in New York to me because it's positionless basketball. It really depends on your matchup. Because even though he's playing at the 3, if he playing somebody who he might have to play on the defense side differently, but I still think they got to go with it though. But I do think I think we got to find a way to get that man some playing time, man, because I think he showed improvement at the end of the year.
One of the reasons why I was saying for keeping Fournier and moving Randall is because of Obi. I think I'm just putting it out there, man. I'm just betting on Obi this year, man. I think Obi is just going to get better uh, over this off season. I think his 3-pointer is going to get a little better. I think he's going to develop a couple of more uh, um, low post moves. I think he'll start shooting that short jumper, the foul line down jumper. I think he'll start doing that. And he's always in motion. He's never stagnated, so he's always in motion. So that will help the team a lot. And Fournier, the reason why I say keep Fournier could possibly be someone that comes off the bench for us. Salute, KJ. Salute. That could come off the bench for us and help us off the bench. But I believe Obi to stay, and I would love to see Obi and Mitchell Robinson be that 3 and 4 this year, where Obi will look for Mitchell Robinson just as well as Mitchell Robinson. And people forget this: Mitchell Robinson does have a good eye. He can pass, so I would love to see him and Obi play that game down low, so he can assist with a pass when Obi's going to dunk.
Yeah, real talk, man. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Yes, indeed. That's all good. I like what y'all throwing out there, man. And a lot of wise know I love that lineup right there. If the Knicks came back into the regular season with this lineup right here, I would not be mad. I would not be mad with IQ, RJ, Obi, Randall, and Mitch. Trust me what I'm telling you, brother. And I think that'd be a nice lineup. I think you got cats who can really shoot the ball down there. You got cats that all put it on the floor. You got lob threats there, with especially with a player like IQ who getting better at that at point guard, who kind of looking for these guys. I think
That's a
his
big
offseason
team
gonna be
too.
really important. Yeah, his offseason gonna be really huge, man. Him and Obi Toppin is gonna be huge. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Everybody, thank y'all for coming. But I got my other partner in crime, the three amigos, the three Pod, and the three kings. We in the building, man. Shout out KJ, what's good, brother?
My fellas, my brothers, Divine and Shy, salutes you. I just got off the road and I said, I got to come get some of this Nick real talk. I missed the RJ Barrett situation. Salute to him, but I know y'all did the grades. I'm giving RJ Barrett an A minus. We went over that, but the whole Mitchell Robinson situation, guys, into the chat out there, the man wants to get paid. 2018 making 1.4 to right now making $1.8 million. And then Shy, you brought up a good point about the guys Ayton and Turner getting 20 million, 18 million. The guy wants to get paid. So is it safe to say that the Knicks, it's a love bet? They got to give him some money. Even if we go into luxury tax with them, they're going to give him some type of money. But they have to build the team around RJ Barrett. If the situation is going to be, again, we've been talking about this since the beginning of the year. This is probably one of the most important all seasons in the last 20 years for the New York Knicks, because they got a lot of the nice young talent, a lot of nice young pieces. Now, who knew what Mitchell Robinson was going to be? We said at the beginning of the season, if Mitchell Robinson could average a double-double or average 10 points, 8 rebounds, 10 points, or 12 points, we'll give him that bag, right? Now, if any of us would have known this was going to happen, we would have said, you know what, give Mitchell Robinson the extension now, in the beginning of the season before December was. But it didn't happen for whatever reason the case may be. So, it's one of them situations that I brought up early in the chat, Shy and Devon. If we were to lose Mitchell Robinson, what team do we have here? Because we all said this before. We wanted to have a stretch 5 with the way the Knicks played, right, in the beginning of the year. But if we look in these playoffs right now, we see these big guys are banging down there. If you look at Phoenix, if you look at the Boston Celtics and Brooklyn Nets, who cares about a stretch 5? We need them guys that can bang down low. So yeah, we need to keep Mitchell Robinson. But what are we going to do? And that's going to be the thing. I don't know. Right now, guys. I'm looking at the playoffs. I'm looking at the way the Knicks all season is going to be. I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, real talk. Hey, Julian, I didn't hear him mention anything about the injury. I just want to get to Julian's question. But he will be ready for off-season workouts. I know that much. So that was manifest with Tom Thibodeau, that he will be ready for the off-season workouts, which is good. But real quick, man, to give out a grade on Mitchell Robinson, I'm gonna give Mitchell Robinson an A this year. Number one, the man stayed healthy. He stayed healthy, 72 games. Was a big part of what we were trying to do this year. So I definitely want to give Mitchell Robinson an A this year, man. I think the man came out, stayed relevant, kept us playing good basketball. We just in other positions we just was weak at. The point guard hurt us this year, but he was there, man. He was there. You see that man hit the floor, get back up, get down there, finally got in shape. Was a big contributor. So Sean Paul, I got to give him an A this year for sure.
I'm giving Mitchell Robinson an A plus. Mitch was number 1 in offensive rebounds this year. Third, top 5 in putbacks this year, all for offensive rebounds. Top 5 in block shots this year, and flex, block this muster, whichever name you want to simulate with him. A plus all the way. I hope we keep him.
Yep. For me, guys, he gets a. We seen without him in the game how the Knicks defense looked was terrible. And Devon, shout out to you because you called out at the beginning of the year. Again, this team, we got enough 3-point shooters. Forget the stretch 5. If we get one, we get one. We need to keep this guy Mitch around because, like you said, Devon, Mitchell Robinson and Jericho Sims for the next 5 to 7 years in this NBA, we destined to get to that championship level team.
Facts.
Yeah. They are important, man. I think you can't have. Listen, it's not going to cost you a lot of money to keep Jericho Sims. Jericho Sims will probably sign 4 years, 15 million. You know what I mean, or whatever the case may be. But I think you can give Mitch $15 million. I think he's worth that. I think with a point guard, Mitch will get you 14 points a game and 10 rebounds.
Facts.
You know what I mean? He's doing 8 and 8 if Mitchell Robinson even get up to 60% free throw shooting and with a better point guard, Mitchell Robinson will get you 14 and 10, 14 and 11 with 3 block shots. You know what I mean? You can't underestimate that. You know what I mean? I just think that's important. Because even if it said you go get a Miles Turner, here's one thing: he's a good 3-point shooter. But guess what? Miles Turner is not. He's not a good rebounder. Miles Turner is not a good rebounder. You know what I mean? And so if you cannot underestimate the offense rebounding prowess of Mitchell Robinson. And here we are in the jump shooting league. This is a jump shooting league. So when everybody's throwing bricks that night, who's the one person you can count on? Mitchell Robinson. When Evan Fournier or RJ Barrett shoot a ball to hit the rim, and what's the best thing you can have? Somebody who can get that rebound off the offense and put it back up. That's how important he is. Because you look at our team and say we all shot bad, but you got Mitchell Robinson cleaning the glass up because they're not shooting good. You know what I mean? And I think you can't underestimate how important that is. Because watch if you lose that, then you're gonna have people getting rebound, leaking out on fast breaks. You know, soon when our guys shoot that long ball, you know how it is when you shoot a jump shot, it go real long. So soon as we shoot a jump shot and miss, if you ain't got Mitch there to clean that rebound up, that team gonna get that ball off the rebound and push that ball up the floor, and we're gonna be lagging. So it's important that you get guys like Mitchell Robinson in there, man. So let's hope that he get him in here. I'm really excited about that young man, man. Let's make it happen. And but overall, man, I think the Knicks come back into this year feeling good. I think they should feel good. We didn't get to the playoffs or the play-in, but they gotta feel good about what they had coming out of the season. I like what I seen from them brothers, man. I really did, man. It was really important for me to see what they did, man, and to see and like I said, we did this without Cam Reddish, and I think if Cam Reddish wouldn't have went down and Shaw Powell, him and Quentin Grimes, I think the Knicks would have made the play-in. I think if we would have lost Cam Reddish, we wouldn't have lost Quentin Grimes, I think the Knicks would have been in the play-in. I think we missed that was important. His 3-point shooting, that defense, because the nights that Evan Fournier didn't have it, Quentin Grimes could have came in there and gave us a spark because he's that good shooting 3-point shot, and his defense was special. So we got to see, man. But let's hope that Mitch come back with these dudes, man. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to the season. I'm giddy about this thing, man. Let's see how it goes, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be one of those off season that we all going to have to be chimed into, because there's going to be some things that happen, and I'm just hoping one of the things that they do is make sure that they sign Mitch, man. 13.5 plus incentives, man. Though if they could get him 13.5 and tell him, Mitch, listen, we want you here. We want you to what was the saying I was gonna say? We want you to do you. We want you to build your own stock up. You want this extra $6-7 million right here from this $13 million. Then we got these incentives for you. We got $6 million worth of incentives for you. If you make these six incentives, you get $6 more million onto your $13 million contract, or get you up to about $19 million. And we'll keep you right here with RJ and the rest of your young team that you like going on and having fun with, all that new dance stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, real talk. Hey, KJ, for me, I think this team, I think this young core get us to the playoffs. The reason why I say that, man, I'm looking at these playoffs, guys. I'm trying to tell you, Memphis Grizzlies, the Cleveland Cavaliers. People don't underestimate that, like Jared Allen. Jared Allen got $100 million. And Mitch Robinson used to play him tough and when he was with Brooklyn. So you got Jared Allen, like I said in the last show, Jared Allen against Mitchell Robinson, Obi Toppin against Evan Mobley. You got RJ Barrett against their young dude at the 3. You got Manuel Quickly and Garland. You got you got Cam Reddish and what's his name? Young man, Okoro. You got Market and these young dudes, man. You know what I mean? They are young dudes. And they had the 6 or 7 spot in the NBA. So why can't our young dudes, who I think is equally just as talented as they is, with some good veterans behind them, do the same thing that they do? Look at the Memphis Grizzlies. I keep repeating that. You got Ja Morant, young, Dalen Brooks, young, Brandon Clark, young, Jaren Jackson, young, Desmond Bain, rookie, young. Them cats was number 2 in the West.
Right. So to that point, Devon, right? If you look at this playoffs right now, right? The Cavs, the Memphis, the young teams, young core, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know these guys, the young team, they can't get past these echelon teams like the Milwaukee Bucks, Boston Celtics, right? God, look at perfect example. Look at Boston Celtics about to sweep Brooklyn maybe. In the beginning of the year, Boston was not doing that good. They was like Jaylen Brown. We beat in the first game of the year, which is good. But look how that team manifested and came together, right? So the thing with the Knicks, we got a nice little young core, right? So watching the playoffs this year is changing my mindset. If we do get rid of one of our young players in a trade, if we have to, because we want to get to that team. And again, guys, we free throws, no D rolls, no Noel.
Facts.
It's right there, and we've been saying that and saying that. So how far is this? This team is not really far off than what we may see. Us as Knicks fans, we said we should be top 4 seeds. Absolutely, we can do it. But think that Boston Celtics team, come on now, we got Boston Celtics number. Like the Brooklyn Nets have our number this year. We should be right there where they at. Is it safe to say that the tables could have been reversed? We should have been where the Boston Celtics are. The Celtics could have been where we are. It could have, if we are healthy, it could have happened, right, guys?
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to this all season, guys. And if we got to get rid of one or two of our young core players to get where we need to be, especially when it gets to the playoffs. Right now, I'm not even thinking about the 82 game season. I'm thinking about the playoffs, because that's where we need to really, really focus on, guys. In chat and ladies in the chat is the playoffs to beat these teams. Look who in our conference: Brooklyn, Boston, and Philadelphia. Those 3 teams, we have to find a way to get past them first before we talk about going in the first week. Let's get past our conference people first. Philadelphia, Boston Celtics, and the Brooklyn Nets. How can we compete with them and then move forward from that? That's what I think the conversation has to be with the front office, Devon and Sha, because right now, we're looking at our core right now with a young team. We can't get by them right now in the playoff series. We need players to fill in and fill out to get past those guys, in my opinion.
Yeah. You know what? For me, I agree, but I do believe I'm with Sophie. Stay the course, man. Stay the course, because here's the reason why I say stay the course. For this reason, think about this team in 2 more years. Think about this young Knicks team in 2 more years. Now, in 2 more years, you're gonna have aspirants on that team. So now you can bring in that other dude to get him over the hump. Because in 2 more years, know who will be aspiring? Donovan Mitchell will be aspiring. Cat will be aspiring. There's a lot of guys out there in 2 years that'll be aspiring, because you know what? And you still think about it. For Giannis going to be around for a couple of more years. He's still young. He ain't even nowhere near 30 yet. And KD going to be around for another 3-4 years. Joel Embiid going to be around for another 3 or 4 years, whatever. I'm just putting a timeline. So I would say, get the young guy. Now think about it. Now, if you were to get a Donovan Mitchell this year, he's still young. So I don't think you lose the young core if you even go out and get Donovan Mitchell, because Donovan Mitchell he just signed his extension, so he only been in the league 5 years. He's still young. So you could put a creme de la creme player with these young guys, and they still have a solid team. You know what I mean? I think you can go out there and really, really just roll with these guys for 1 more 2 years. I think the Knicks, with the way they constructed right now, KJ and Shaw, I think that starting young nucleus will get us to the playoffs. I think they would get us there with a Derrick Rose on the bench if you don't trade him. If you can get rid of Fournier's contract, to me, and if you can get Julius, that's fine as well. But I do think this young squad is talented enough to get it there, man, because I think the way they play basketball with that pace up and down the floor, easy buckets, not selling for half-court game, wasting the shot clock. When Obi Toppin and Emmanuel quickly run up and down that floor getting you easy buckets, I think that's big. I think it's big. So we'll see, man. Shop Powell, but I like the direction we're going. And if you got one person I say right now, out of all the people I would say on that team, you had to bring back some veterans, bring back Todd Gibson. And I'm cool with Todd Gibson and Derrick Rose if you had to let everybody else go. I'm talking about veteran wise, because I know what they mean to Tom Thibodeau, and I know what they mean to, I know what Todd Gibson means to Mitchell Robinson. Since Todd Gibson came to the Knicks, you look at Mitchell Robinson's game along with Kenny Payne. So I think he's important. And for somebody who don't care about whether they play or not, but he's there to mentor them guys, and $5 million ain't nothing. He can give them Joakim Noah money. Who cares? So it's gonna be interesting, man. I really think we got a good thing going on. Let's hope that we can maintain. And but I like this young core, man. I like what I seen at the last week of the season, man. I really did, man. I think I was so happy to see that pace, them running up on the floor, Obi dropping 40, quickly dropping 30 in a triple double. I'm like, come on, man. You know, it was impressive to me, man. And you know what, the NBA, I don't care what the end of the season or not. You got to be talented to get there. We were playing against talent. Them guys wasn't playing superior talent, but they were playing against guys who was in the league, like Rudy Muchamura. He was an A pick, you know, I mean, something like that when he came out. He wasn't no scrub, you know. So hey, you know, that's good to see, man. But I'm happy with the Knicks. Real talk, man. I hope they do the right thing and bring these guys back, especially Mitchell Robinson. Start there first and get a point guard. Let's roll with it. Shot Powell, let's roll with it.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you right there, man. I've been saying, man, let these guys marinate, man. Build up their stock a little bit, man. It'd be easier to get a big fish down the line. You know what I mean? If we can get IQ to look like he's worth 12, 15 million, if we could get Grimes to make him look like he's worth uh 10 to 14 million, if we could get Sims to look like he's worth 8 to 10 million, you know, with their worth in stock. You know what I mean? They were still getting small contracts, so the contracts look even more inviting for teams to want to make a major move. And you can, you know, we got, you know, draft picks out the wazoo. We got second rounds. We got first rounds. I mean, I hope that we can stress some of these contracts. I like what you said also, Divide, about keeping Taj and keeping D Rose. I think D Rose will help up IQ and could also back up Deuce. I think IQ and Deuce got to be out there that first and second unit and Rose just in case one of them goes down, maybe he can step in. He's at that time of his career that should be his position. As Taj, if we can keep Mitch, if something happens to Mitch or Sam, something happens, he can step into that role as well. So those are the two picks that I would keep too. But everybody else, other than that, we have to try to shut their contracts and also move off for one of these bigger contracts, the Fournier, which would probably be more likely, or the Randall contract, where there's a lot of trades out there that you can make and he's can go to about 3 or 4 or 5 teams. So many ideas that you could if Randall wants to move, he has some suited places that he can go, and he can actually pick pick somewhere where he really wants to go. I hope so.
So Finger, that's a dead good point there, man. That they will be looking good at that trade deadline. You fat, but hey, KJ, I'm even with this here. Check it out. If you go McBride and Derrick Rose at the points, and you just let Emmanuel Quickly and Quentin Grimes do the two. You could let R.J. Barrett and Cam
Reddish,
Reddish be the threes. You could let Obi Toppin. If Randall's not gone, if Randall's gone, you can let Obi Toppin, whether you get somebody out the draft or you go get a seasoned vet. I like the way the Cavaliers did it, man. They had Kevin Love coming on. Look, Kevin Love was in the running for sixth man of the year. You go get a vet like that. I don't even care if it's Carmelo Anthony to back up Obi Toppin. You
I'm
know what
with
I
that.
mean? You gotta have them dudes on that team like that. If you had Obi Toppin starting, check it out, and you have Carmelo Anthony backing him up, I guarantee you, if Obi having kind of a subpar game, Melo will come in there and give you 8 to 10, 13 points. He that good. He can score like that. You know what I mean? So and then you got Mitchell Robinson and Jericho Sims. So if you had Todd Gibson, Melo, and Derrick Rose, your veteran mentors on that team, they all still could play. You see what Todd was doing this year. Todd calling them up from downtown on people. You know what I mean? I'm about to call long distance line cap. Think about that with that young core. That'll get us to the playoffs. Because I think they got guys like Melo, you got guys like Derrick Rose, and you guys got a guy like Todd Gibson who know how to play in them pressure situations to take the pressure off the young men when it's time to. I think that's all you need. And them three guys ain't gonna cost you nothing other than Derrick Rose. He making 13, but Taj and Melo ain't gonna cost you number $5 million a year. And let Melo go out for 2 years with the Knicks and or next year, let him ride off in the sunset, teaching Obi Toppin how to use that footwork. I think the Knicks would be in the playoffs with no problem. They would have been in there this year.
Yeah,
Sure.
and I believe Melo was one of them veteran guys that's gonna come here for like $2 million, just because he wants back in New York. You know, like we gonna embrace Melo coming back to New York. Good story to bring him back, right? Um, to your other points, Devon and Shy, you guys are okay with building the young core out, right? We let's solidify this now. Young core, right? That's what we want to. If we talk about building this thing out and nothing happened, the 7, 8 young guys we got. You guys okay with that?
Oh, definitely. I'm definitely, because I look at the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm looking at the Memphis Grizzlies. They in the same situation the Knicks were in.
Right.
Same situation. All them dudes is young. They number two in the Western Conference, bro. You know what I mean? They number 2. Look at the Cleveland Cavaliers. That whole starting team was young. That whole starting 5 was young. And let's go some other teams. Boston Celtics not that old. Jason Tatum only been in the league 5 years. Brayden Brown, Marcus Smart, maybe 7. Marcus Smart the young, but Robert Williams is young. Jason Tatum is not that old. I know they talent level is different, but they not that old though. You know, so yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I think you just got to put the right pieces around them. That's all.
Right. The reason I asked you that is because if something was to come up where, like, think about this, it's going to be a lot of disgruntled stars coming out these playoffs right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a whole lot of them coming out. And one of these guys may say, you know what, it's time to pack my guy. I got to go to New York City. Let's say a disgruntled star comes out. Say, I don't know, Ingram is available from New Orleans, along with a couple other people. Do we want a guy like Brandon Ingram in New York City?
Yeah. Brandon Ingram's still young.
Right. But it takes one of our young guys away, either IQ,
I don't have
McBride.
For Ingram, okay.
That's what I'm saying, because I see some people in the chat like our cousin Cash Out. Yeah, I understand, Cash, and it's all good. But if we can get another young piece, I'm not saying a guy that's 30-something years old and is a good fella. No, I'm talking about another young piece, Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, I do that.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, because I'm like, you know what? I know we want to build a young core, but if we get a young core, a player that's better than the players that we got now, we got to jump on it, because, again, I know we want to build, but, I mean, we've been building for so long as Knicks fans, but, I mean, it comes to a point where we got to win. I mean, how long we going to keep building this thing out here? We've been building for too long. You know, and it's like, you know, it's time, and we do have a young core, but I think one of our young core is going to be a sacrificial lamb for someone else to come in here. And I think it's to determine, but I think the player is going to be either Deuce McBride or IQ.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, when I mean young core, see, Mitchell Robinson, he's young, but he's not young. You know what I mean? He's going on the 5th year. What I mean by young core, I mean by guys like that we have there now, because all you got to do is plug and play people. You know what I mean? Like I said, like Evan Fournier is old to me, 30 years old. Alex Burks is old to me. You know what I mean? Julius Randle's not even old. You know, but you know, guys like that, Nerlens Noel and Kemba Walker, they old to me. But I think this young core that we have. See, we was building for a long time, but we wasn't building for a long time. Because let's remember this, guys. When we drafted R.J. Barrett, we went away from the rebuild. We went away from the rebuild. Because remember, Steve Mills brought in all them dudes. Marquise Morris, Bobby Portis, Todd Gibson. They took Kevin Knox's spot. They took this dude's spot. So we did go away from the rebuild that year, which I think was the wrong thing to do. They should not have went that route that year. But don't get me wrong, I'm glad it did, because Morris got us Emmanuel quickly. You know what I mean? Melo got us Mitchell Robinson. You know what I mean? But that year when Knox came in his rookie year, Knox averaged 13 points a game, we tore it down. We about to build it up. Then next year, Steve Mills went out there and gave Mook Morris money, gave Bobby Portis $15 million, gave Mook Morris $15 million, gave Todd Gibson $10 million, gave all these guys. So we went away from the rebuild. And then, you know, the next year, you know, we last year we got us to the playoffs. You know, we got the 41 wins, but we also did that with a bunch of veterans. You know what I mean? So we went away. I think what happened was when they went away from the plan, that's what screwed it up from the rebuild. Because Knox, all of them dudes was in their rookie year, man. They that second year, I'm like, but Steve Mills, what you doing? You should have stuck to the plan. That's why they fired him, kicked him out. No, Scott Perry said, nah, man, you got to get him out of here because he's going the wrong way. And I'm thank God they did it, because I do think that if they would have went that way, it would have been a disaster. So, but I see now, or I just want to model what these other guys are doing. Why do you think the Brooklyn Nets are getting cooked the way they getting cooked right now? No young cats. Only one young out there, Claxton. He the one balling, playing pretty decent for him. Them old legs at the Wild get tired, bro. You know what I mean? They get tired. You know what I mean? And I just think that the NBA is changing now. These cats are more fast, more athletic. I mean, they got speed. Look at our deep. Why you think our defense substance here? Evan Fournier, 30 years old, can't keep up with a 21-year-old. Mm-hmm. Evan Fournier can't keep up with a 23-year-old. Burning them all day. Kemba Walker, burning them all day. Kill that noise. Get them young boys up in there. Put some veterans behind them. And like you said, if you go get a Brandon Ingram, I'm good with that because he's young. He's a young. That's why Brandon Ingram cooking. You know what I mean? Because he's young. You know, so I think that's where we got to go, man. Get the youth, get the energy, get the hungry cats. People who starving. Them cats hungry, man. You know what I mean? We need hungry ball players. Them young guys is hungry. They looking to get the bag. So they're gonna play hard every night. And like you said, we might have to sacrifice somebody, Child Powell to KJ, but I'm with it as long as it don't take away from all of it. Because think about it, a lot of teams we can deal with don't even want young guys. Like you can go to the Lakers right now because they trying. Long as they got LeBron James and AD, they don't want no young cats. They want somebody going to help them get in the playoffs and compete. So that's when you can look at the Alex Burks of the world. You can look at the Evan Fourniers of the world and the Julius Randle. Because you send them to a contender, they ain't looking to develop nobody. That's why the Knicks can go ahead and go in there and get somebody. You can get Randle and Fournier and Nerlens Noel and Alex Burks them off the books because you can send them for talk. What's the name? THT. They talk about moving him. So we know the Knicks about the Knicks. I'll send Fournier and Burks or somebody out to LA. Bring THT here. Another young talent and roll with it. You know what I mean? So we got to see, man. It's gonna be interesting, guys. KJ and Shaw Powell. Yeah. We really know how they do it this year, but I think they're gonna do the right thing though. Shaw Powell, by any way it means. I think they signed Mitch back. You know, go out there, get a point guard. Hopefully, Cam Reddish come into the offseason knowing that he in a contract year. He's gonna want to ball out. You know, he's gonna want to ball out. You know, because he's like, I'm in a contract year. I got to get it anyway. So let's see how it goes for these guys.
This year, I think. The Knicks' priorities are more on the lines of holding this young core together and trading off some of their older veterans, the Burks, the Noels, the Kembas, you know, and try to move on and shed some of those contracts, and also try to get one of the bigger contracts off, like Fournier or Randle, and stay with this young core. If something comes available, I'm pretty sure the New York Knicks front office, if Ingram comes across the table talking about they want Grimes and IQ and 2 first-round picks, I'm pretty sure they're gonna jump all over that. 3 first-round picks, you know, they might jump all over that in a heartbeat. I would. For Ingram, he's a premier player to put aside with RJ. Oh man, you know, that's something. But I believe that their thinking now is maybe build up these guys' stock, and hopefully they can. If we do keep Randle, I hope the idea is to put Obi at the 3. I hope that is the idea. Put him at the 3 and let him. That for the 3 position, let him and Reddish play that position, and let Grimes and Grimes and RJ play the 2 position, and you will figure out who's going to do the 1 and the 3. I mean, the 1 and the 5.
Hey, Devon and Shaw. Yep. Hey, into the chat. I want y'all to play alongs 1 through 5, right? In any order. It ain't no trades, whatever. I need the Knicks starting 5 in 30 seconds for next year. It's no trades. It don't matter with the. I don't want y'all to think about the money. Give me 5 players that's going to be the starting 5. It could be trades, and who you think. It's not just on the Knicks right now, but it could be other teams.
Who I think the Knicks is starting 5 this year?
Give me starting 5 in 30 seconds. You start.
Not because I want it, because that's what I think they might do.
There we go.
I'm gonna go Jalen Brunson. I'm gonna go Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, Randle, and Mitch.
Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, and Mitch. All right, shot.
Randall Mitch.
I'm gonna get funky with it. Then I'm gonna say Jalen Brunson, RJ, Fournier, um, um, Randall, and because we keep Randall, and we lose Mitch, I'm gonna say Turner.
So who say that again?
Miles Turner for the 5. I think
So you got Brunson.
Brunson, RJ, Fournier, Randall, and Turner.
Oh, Turner.
Turner. Yeah, I'm saying if we, because I don't think we keep Mitch if Randall's still here. I don't know if they're gonna. I think Mitch should be ready to go. I think Rich is ready to go if Randall's still here. I don't know why, but I think so.
Cash out got who I want to see.
So
Wide got me thinking that's who it's gonna be.
Right. So this is mine, guys. I got Russell Westbrook at the 1.
I feel you on that.
I got RJ Barrett at the 2. I got Cam Reddish at the 3. I got Obi Toppin at the 4, and I got Mitchell Robinson at the 5.
Say that again.
I can feel you with that.
I'll break mine down in a minute. Russell Westbrook at the 1.
Okay, I can see that.
RJ Barrett at the 2.
Okay.
Cam Reddish at the 3. Obi Toppin at the 4, and Mitchell Robinson at the 5.
Wow.
And I start mine off.
I like Wills too. I gotta go with that.
We talked about this before. Cash out. And look, I know what's coming for me. But Nick's real talk. Relax. Again, what wins championships? Defense wins championships. I'm not talking about the shots. We got players here for all that, right? We got a whole, but anyway, before we get into all that, right? With that team I put out there, that's a defensive-minded team right there. I'm talking about holding teams to under 100 points a game with that team right there. We still got a fast team that can fly up and down the court. We don't need Russell Westbrook to shoot. Just drive to the hole, penetrate, and make it happen from the point guard position, right? Again, I'm looking at Julius can go back to L.A., right? We get Carmelo with that too and a veteran right there coming to New York. Russell Westbrook in New York revises his career for 1 year. I'm taking that.
Who was the run to that again? Westbrook,
RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish,
okay,
Obi Toppin, and Mitchell Robinson.
If that team, if Obi Toppin, it's going to take Obi Toppin, RJ Barrett, and Randall, they got to shoot a good percentage from the 3-point area though. That would be my reason why I'm here to read. I'm on a Westbrook trade, guys. This is the only reason I'm on a Westbrook trade. 1 year expiring deal. You save $44 million. You got rid of Randall's $106 million, $17 million. That's the reason why I want Westbrook here. But I do agree the man is a talent. He's a Hall of Famer. For 1 year though, I could see it because you're getting rid of that $44 million.
Thank you. We need the money.
Listen, I'm gonna even make it sweeter for you, KJ, because I even thought Westbrook too. Because you know who we would give up for Westbrook? We would give up Taj, we give up Evan Fournier, and we give up Randall. We give up those 3 players. We get Westbrook, and we ask the Lakers to give us a first round or a second round pick. But with those 3 players, Evan Fournier, Randall, and Taj, I would make that trade for Westbrook for 1 year.
And we give him Kemba Walker too as well.
And remember, here's why you do that though. We know who Westbrook is, but I would sacrifice Russell Westbrook for 1 year to get Julius Randle's 117 off the books, get Evan Fournier's 36 off the books.
I would do that.
I would do it for 1 year.
I would do it too. I got that as one of my trades.
Yep.
Hey, Will. Thank you, Will. And this is what people don't understand. We have no money. We have to free up money. Look, again, to my cousins out there in the chat, we have first round and second round draft picks from this year to all the way 2029. Can anybody tell me where we're going to free this money up this year? We need money right now. We need money. So with this trade, I know some of them in the chat don't want the Westbrook, but this is a business thing, right? It's NBA is about a business. We need to find some way to put your GM hats on. We'll find some money. This deal gets his money back in the long run. Then we can re-sign people. So I mean, it is what it is.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I would do that trade just for that reason. Russell Westbrook is still better than anybody on the Knicks. I don't give what nobody say. He might have had a bad year playing with LeBron James, but that just don't work. LeBron James and AD, Westbrook just don't work. But to get rid of Julius Randle contract or Fournier's contract, I would do that in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Trust me when I'm telling you, this is business, bro. Nothing personal. I think Russell Westbrook is better than any point guard on the Knicks. I think that man going downhill, he got that dog mentality. I think Russell Westbrook, RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, and whoever get us to the playoffs. I think he will. But I would have to do it for 1 year, guys, because we don't have no cap money. We can't do nothing. We can't strike no deals. We don't have nobody. We can't bring no talent unless it's trading because we don't have no money. The Knicks is capped out. You still got to sign. You want to bring Mitch back. You got to find. But I do think to get rid of that $117 million of Randall's and Fournier's $36 million for 1 year, I had to deal with that, man. Real talk. Because you know what? Know why I would do it at the trading deadline? You can ship Westbrook out of here. You ain't got to keep him the whole season. You bring Russell Westbrook at the trading deadline. Think about this here. Russell Westbrook got traded almost 3 times in every year. So it ain't like you can't move the contract. Who wouldn't take a $44 million expiring? So even if you brought Russell Westbrook in for a half a season, to unload Julius Randle and Evan Fournier, let's do it. Let's do it. It don't hurt nothing. That's checkers playing chess, man. Real talk, bro. So I don't like it. I get y'all don't like it, but you gotta look at the other side of the ball, the business aspect, the business. That's what I want to talk about, the business. But my starting lineup, like I said, I got a feeling they're gonna, if anything, Randall, Brunson, who knows? Be interesting, guys. It'll be interesting. It will be. It will be.
Hey, Divine and Shy. It's like eating that piece of. I'll tell you one thing. I never used to like cabbage back in the day. You know what I mean? I could tear me some cabbage up right now. You know what I mean? So it's like one of them situations. You put a man in a new place, hey, things change. Things change. So that's all we saying. We're freeing up this money, man. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, good way to spark debate though. That was good. That was a good one. That was a good line.
I ain't mad at you. I had that as a trade. I had him in a trade for 1 year to get some money back. I'm 100%. And like you said, Divine, we trade him at the trading deadline. If he ain't working out, we trade him at the deadline. And somebody will take that expiring whatever he has left of what we paid him, 20-something million or whatever the hell. Somebody will take that.
Send him to a contender.
Yeah, somebody will take that.
He that good.
I like y'all though with Jalen. The whole thing, we can talk about that Jalen Brunson situation too. Now we seen what the man is doing in the playoffs this year, right? Now we seen this before. The guy does real well playoffs, and it comes to the team, and it's like, well, what happened to that player? And again, we talked about this before. We're gonna take a guy that's making 18-something million when we got a guy in IQ in McBride. That's kind of like, okay, so it's a gamble. It's gonna be another gamble taking Jalen Brunson. Do we pull that trigger and take Jalen Brunson at the point guard?
Yeah, you know what? Hey, I don't want to take none of them. I don't even want Westbrook. I don't want none of them. But I understand it from a business standpoint. I don't want Westbrook in New York, but I understand it if they did it. I get it. I get it because it's all about the bottom line. And moving forward, I think that the Knicks would do that because they would be able to free that. Listen. You think if you want Julius Randle out of New York, you're not gonna get him out of New York for getting nothing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're not gonna get him for nothing. So yeah, do I want Westbrook in New York? No, but for to get Evan Fournier off the books, as much as you might not like Westbrook, he's 10 times better than Evan Fournier. Evan Fournier stuck up the joint. Hey, he shoot the 3-ball every now and then. Russell Westbrook 50 times better than Evan Fournier. And Julius Randle not better than Russell Westbrook. Not one of them two going to the Hall of Fame. Russell Westbrook going to the Hall of Fame. Right. First ballot. Evan Fournier ain't going to the Hall of Fame. Julius Randle ain't going to the Hall of Fame. Russell Westbrook is first ballot. So for half a season, I take Russell Westbrook that money, man. Real talk, brother. I know me. I ain't the one. I'm like, get that money. Hey, listen, we need to get them boys up out of here. But no, I think it's going to wind up being Jalen Brunson. I think it's going to be a sign and trade. I think it's going to be a sign and trade. Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson. Julius Randle.
That's what I'm hoping.
I think Julius Randle going to Dallas. I think we're going to have to do with Jalen Brunson, maybe bring somebody else in the fold. But I do
think Hardaway, Powell, Green, one of those contracts. Brunson with Powell or Green. Sorry, I was looking at another one with Randle and Noel. We could also do this if we wanted to try to do this too. Do Randle and Noel, send them to the Mavericks and get Brunson, Powell, Green, and Hardaway, and then we can ship off Hardaway and Powell to someone else. Keep Green. Powell. I forgot which one I was going to keep.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. I ain't knocking. I ain't knocking. He not getting in here and there, but the man is a talent, though.
Yeah,
talent, bro.
Yeah,
I know people don't like Russell Westbrook because he's not a shooter.
Until he come down and throw that ball down the lane and
the man.
And then what we're not thinking about, I'm thinking playoffs. A man that's going to defend you everything in the playoffs is not a fast-paced game. It's a half-court game. I'll take Russell Westbrook on defense any day.
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking at.
And he got the mentality to play here. He got that dog, though, and we need that. You got to have a certain mentality to play up in this place, man. And he got that. He got that attitude to play in New York. You know why? He don't give a. You know what? The Knicks fans won't get the Russell Westbrook like they got the Julius Randle. He don't give a fuck. He like whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, but it was good conversation, man. I don't think they're gonna even move Jalen Brunson. I don't think they're gonna move him. I think they're gonna sign him.
You think they're gonna let Tim Hardaway go?
Yeah. I you know what? I don't see why they gotta do that. I think they got a good team. Look where they at, man. Them cats about to go to the second round, not Utah. You know what I mean?
I don't think they can afford them. They strapped like us right now, Mavericks.
The salary going up, and I do think that they can go over long. They can go over the luxury tax to sign them. They can sign them. Yeah, they can sign them. Long they don't go over the luxury tax. I think Mark Cuban gonna keep him there. I mean, unless he want to go. So I think like I said, to me, I like the lineup like a lot of Wiseman had. My starting lineup preferably for the Knicks. I want IQ, RJ, Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin, and Mitchell Robinson. That's that's a lineup that I want. Now, I mean, what the Knicks gonna do is a whole different story. You know what I mean? But I want to see them young boys get it popping, man. I think we got a good young nucleus down there, and I think they're gonna get it popping. And I think they can make it happen. I mean, I really think that they can get to the playoffs. I think this team is that good because I think they got talent around. It all depends what they put in the back of them. We got the 11th pick. Who knows what we do with the 11th pick? Let's say if you get the 11th pick, and that 11th pick wound up being a stretch 4 behind Obi Toppin to grow for a year. You know what I mean? So you ain't got nothing to lose. Like I said, I'm modeling Memphis. I'm on the Knicks modeling Memphis Grizzly thing. That's where I'm at. The Knicks want to have a young core. If you want to find out the way somebody does, look at the Memphis Grizzlies. I was watching them last night. That whole starting 5, bro, was young. The whole starting 5: John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., Dylan Brooks, Brandon Clark, and Desmond Bane. All 5 of the dudes is young. I was like, yo. Like that was crazy. They was balling out too. You know what I mean? So it's good to see. I think they got some good people.
Hey, Devon and Shah.
Mm-hmm.
What Knick point guard averaged 18 points, 18.5 points this year? Has any Knick point guard averaged 18.5 points
this year?
Yeah. Last 2 years.
None of them.
Right? And played 78 games, right? Well, that was Westbrook to my cousins in the chat. That was Westbrook's number this year. I'm just saying. Think about it. Go to bed and sleep on this tonight, guys. Westbrook in New York, y'all can book it. Here for me first. And if we make the playoffs, y'all all will be saluting me and thanking me one day. Not you, Devon and Shot, because y'all agree with me. But to my cousins in the chat that's coming at me with the defense, I'm telling you, this makes a lot of sense. It's money.
That's what it boiled down to for me. It boils down to money, bro. It boils down to money. I'm being one of y'all know me. I'm a capitalist, and I'm a strategic dude. I believe you can get rid of Julius Randle and Evan Fournier. That right there is, check this out, $18 million for him next year. Julius Randle with his sentence is $26 million. That's $40-something million for two players for one. And you're gonna have to get them that for 2 more years, and Julius Randle after that, you're gonna have to give him 78 for 3 years. Man, please. So, I think it's really about the business for me, man.
Right.
That it's nothing other than that. And like I said, I don't think we, but I like the young nucleus. I'm good either way. But I think you got to be careful because my man, hey, they got.
Hey, look.
Hey, chat like
Devon is shy. Hey, look, it could be on me tonight, but look, I love it. You know why? Because I love proving wrong. When we prove you wrong and it happens, I don't want to hit. I do not want to hit.
So, hey man, it's all love, man. It's all love, bro. I swear.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. I mean, that was, I bring it up in one of my, I've looked it up in one of my chats too. The money, and the thing about Westbrook, we move on. Aside from the money, we move on from 3 of the veteran players. I mean, we move on from
you free up roster spots too.
Right, we free up 3 roster spots. You know what I mean? So
if you get 3 players out here and bring in one, now you definitely let Quentin Grimes and Cam Reddish get found.
Right now, they're
putting up money in roster spots. That's what it's about.
Yeah, I want to answer Alawa's question too, guys. Okay. He said, "How do I want Randall out, but want Westbrook?" Makes no sense, big bro. Okay, this is the reason why, right? Randall clogs it up, right? Ball doesn't move. Westbrook is a pass first point guard, right? We all can agree to that, right? He's a guard. He's a guard that we need. We haven't had a true point guard. Westbrook is a proven true point guard. To Devon's point, he's a first time ballot in the Hall of Fame when it gets to that level, right? So I want Westbrook here for that 1 year. And the biggest thing of all why I want Westbrook here, it clears the cap, the money.
Mm-hmm.
The money. Again, everybody's forgetting that we need money. We need money. We have no money right now. Can y'all tell me where's the money coming? Not you, Devon. I want our cousin in the chat tell me where's the money coming this year? Again, let's talk about we can go about the picks that we got, the second round picks, the first round picks. We got all these picks, right? We pick all these players. How the Knicks want to pay these players that we draft? Say the Knicks get a top 5 pick, right? And we get the guy, we get Jordan, we get Ivy from Purdue. How are we going to pay him? With no money. How are we going to pay him? We're going to have to let people go. Who has the biggest contract on the Knicks right now? Julius Randle, right? So all I'm saying is, yeah, I know some people don't agree with the Westbrook rate, and I get it. But again, what's been happening the past 20-something years since the early 90s, late 90s, 2000s, with the Knicks, again, I said this previously before. Last year was the first year we made the playoffs back in 4 out of 4 years out of the year 2000 to now. 4 times. What y'all don't want to take chances right now because a guy had a rough year and went 1 year in LA? I don't get that part. So all I'm saying is we've been taking so many different chances. One may work, one may not work. Obviously, it worked the first year with the team. It didn't work the second year, and now these guys got to swing for the fences this year. So why not take a gamble again on an expiring contract where we could break the bank and make more money back in the long run? That's all I'm trying to say right here.
Yeah, hey, I agree with you, Cash Out, but I think the Knicks. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they would do that. I just think they would do it. from a business standpoint, it makes sense. Just from a business standpoint, it makes a lot of sense. That's all I'm saying. Maybe you might not agree with, and don't get me wrong, Westbrook at the end of the year the end of the year was pretty good for Westbrook. And I'm not advocating bringing him here, but I would not be mad if you move him for Julius Randle and Evan Fournier. If the Lakers call you right now and say, I would give you Westbrook for Evan Fournier and Julius Randle, man, you better pull that trigger. You better pull that trigger. Dude, listen, for 3 months, you got rid of $140 million, and you only got to keep $44 million for 3 or 4 months. Man, you better pull that trigger. That's business, bro. You got rid of $146 million. No, more than that. Julius Randle, his extension starts at $117 million. Am I right or wrong? 117, right?
Yeah.
Fournier got $36 million left for 2 years. You cleared $150-something million worth of contract money for one guy for 3 months. For 3 months. And it don't even affect the youth. It don't even affect the youth. You can do the trade away Russell Westbrook, as far as I care. You can do that trade and cut him. I wouldn't even care. You don't even got to play him. You don't even have to play Russell Westbrook. You make that deal, you get Russell Westbrook, and you can ship him out of here in 3 months, or you just don't do him like you did Kemba Walker. Sit him on the bench and don't even take him out the rotation. Don't even play him. But you still let your young boys get the burn, and you moved all that money off the books. Man, come on now. I don't. The only reason I don't think it affects the youth is this reason. Russell Westbrook would teach Deuce McBride what it is to be a point guard in the NBA. Regardless of what he might be, he would teach Deuce McBride, no point guard on the Knicks right now. And I don't even want Westbrook here. I'm just saying this is all from a business standpoint. There's no point guard other than Derrick Rose to show that boy how to go downhill, how to do certain things with a basketball that nobody on that team can do. You only getting Westbrook for 3 or 4 months. That's all. That's all. You know what I mean? I don't think I have a problem with it, because I think Kemba Walker. I don't think Kemba Walker better than Russell Westbrook. That one,
that's a great point, Devon. Yeah, thank you, Devon.
And I know y'all some wise brothers up in there. Y'all some wise dudes up in the chat. All y'all brothers is wise. Don't get me wrong. Y'all are some real skilled, intelligent dudes. I know, but we can't deal with the aspect just because the man had at the beginning of the year, he shot a couple of balls on ESPN. They was bricking. At the end of the year, Russell Westbrook was playing good basketball for the Lakers. The problem was AD and LeBron couldn't stay healthy. And I don't think the Lakers might even trade him. They might run it back. I think it was a bad fit. Because think about what him and Bradley Beal did the year before. Him and Bradley Beal took the Washington Wizards and brought them boys out the depths of hell into the play-in last year. And they was down there too. Him and Westbrook and Beal brought them boys. He is a talent, bro. He might have started off with the Lakers this year kind of iffy. You know what I mean? But think about it. Look at his game at the end of the year. You know what I mean? I just think you got to roll with it. You know what I mean? But it's good, man. Yeah. Well, yeah, it is, man. But listen, we got to get out of 11. But I'm glad y'all had that conversation, because it sparked the chat up, and I think. But I'm with Will on this one, man. I got to roll with that, man. That's a no-brainer to me. You know why? Because you get to get rid of all them contracts you brought in this year that didn't work. You just get to get all the contracts.
And indeed, like I said, hey, look, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and hey, if that's what you think, that's what you believe. Again, we don't know if this is going to happen,
right?
I'm throwing something out there that would make sense for the New York Knicks, in my opinion. Again, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Again, I'm looking at the Knicks roster. I'm looking at our draft picks, depending on what we pick at. And the biggest thing is D and Shot. We need money. We got to remove a big contract to get that money. So to take in one contract for 1 year, D, and you said this before, I'll take it in a heartbeat, man.
Hey, listen. Hey, look, prime example. Hey, D cool. I'm glad you put that there. Good point. My man making $47 million. He ain't playing a lick. John Wall. $48 million. He not even playing.
Damn, give me that. I'll take that.
Right. And
Sitting right on the bench.
See, that's what I'm trying to say. They got John Wall for 40. He's not playing, but look at them young boy. They getting they burn. Just sit his ass down. Who cares? It's John Wall making that money, not even playing. Not even playing, bro. He ain't affecting that team. Jalen Green getting to play. Jashawn Tate getting to play. All them cats still down there playing. All you trying to do is listen. The 3 months go by that fast to me. 3 months go by that fast. I think you make that move. He ain't got to play for the Knicks. I couldn't care less. He can come here and sit on the bench and do like Todd Gibson. Yeah. Bring him on to get Evan Fournier. Evan Fournier. Come on, bro.
so again, hey Devon, I think we're gonna have to do one about Russell Westbrook, because I'm like, so let me ask y'all a question, right? To those that are saying no to Russell Westbrook, right? Russell Westbrook or Evan Fournier on his team. If you were to replace Evan Fournier and Russell Westbrook with the team, right? Instead, we had a lineup of this, right? Without Fournier starting, we had a lineup of who was our starting point guard in the beginning of the year? Do y'all remember? Kemba Walker, right? Kemba Walker.
Right.
Russell Westbrook, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. Our starters were Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. Now, through 30 games with a Russell Westbrook other than a Fournier, who are you taking? I'm just saying. Is Evan Fournier's defense better than Russell? Let's get this out. Let's get this out the way. Whose defense is better, Evan Fournier or Russell Westbrook? Chat, I'll wait. To those that are saying he can't shoot Westbrook, okay. We'll give Fournier can shoot better than him, right? But look at basketball is an overall game. It's not about shooting. It's not about. It's about what can you do on both sides of the floor. Can we all agree to this? Is Russell better all around better than Evan Fournier? I'll sit back and I'll wait. I need my tea out right now.
Hey, I got a better one real quick. I got a better one.
Just saying.
I'm gonna hit y'all with something that's gonna trip y'all out. I'll take Alfred Payton over Evan Fournier. Here's the reason why. Evan Fournier plus minus is terrible. Y'all get caught up in that 3-point shooting crap. He is a negative on the Knicks all day, every day. That man he can shoot, he can give you 20, he gonna give up 30. Evan Fournier is a negative. Reggie Bullock was way better than Evan Fournier. That was a bad move by the Knicks to bring that man in here. Evan Fournier get you a couple of 3-pointers here and there. He shoot the ball here and there. Look at his stats for the year. He 14 points a game. He shot 40%. He get burnt on defense all the time. All the time. You look at Evan Fournier's game this year, know what? He'll give you 20 points one game. Next game, he'll give you 8. The other game after that, he'll give you 7. Then he might come back and click with 15. You don't need that for no $18 million. Come on, man. Evan Fournier is a negative. When I mean a negative, he's a negative. Him and Kemba Walker you should have kept Reggie Bullock. We would have been in the playoffs because it disrupted what we had. That cat cannot play no defense. That $18 million away, and I'll say it till the cows come home. You don't take out nobody like Reggie Bullock, who having a great playoffs. And and look at the Fournier. Fournier was a bad contract. And so I think for the reason that's why I don't want Fournier, because I think that he's not a good defensive player. He's one dimensional. He can get to the lane every now and then. Nah, get that out. Nah.
Hey, Sha.
Yeah.
That's all right. You call me crazy, but the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie.
All right, so to the chat. One thing I'm gonna give him credit about Evan Westbrook. He only made 79 3-pointers out of the whole year. Okay, in 82 games. I give y'all that, right? But again, the game is not based on 3-pointers in the playoffs. It's about moving the ball. The man can move the basketball. Mm-hmm. So again, I give y'all that. But all around game, I'll take Westbrook over Fournier all day.
See, you know what? And I agree. I agree. Elfrid Payton is garbage on offense. But here's one thing about Elfrid Payton. Elfrid Payton won't score 10. He won't give up 10. See, you got to look at it from this totality. Elfrid Payton might not score 10, but Elfrid Payton not giving up 10 neither. Evan Fournier scored 20. He giving up 20. You know what I mean? Go look at his numbers, guys. Look at his numbers. Look at Evan Fournier numbers this year. The only thing y'all can say that he shot the 3-point ball good. He don't rebound. He don't pass the ball. He's a 2-guard. He averaged 2 rebounds this year from a 2-guard spot. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, no defense. Nah, come on, man. Come on. That's crazy. 30 years old, no rebounding, no defense, no assists. His minus. Look at his numbers this year. That's the reason why I want him out of here, because you need some defenders. Quentin Grimes should be taking his spot. Quentin Grimes makes Evan Fournier Jetson up out of here. Real talk. Quentin Grimes can shoot the 3 ball just like he can, and he's a twice better defender than he is. And he only making $2 million. Would you want $18 million worth of two can't defend, only shoot the 3 ball, can't defend, don't rebound, don't pass for $18 million? When you got a young man on your bench who can defend like no other and got a deadly 3-point shot, he only making $2 million. That's why I say I don't have a problem with the Randall and my man for 1 year. For 1 year to get him out of here, and you can let Quentin Grimes hold that 2-guard down in New York, and we'd be a much better team than ever Fournier was. That's facts right there. I don't get the Evan Fournier love, guy. I don't get it. I totally don't. But it is what it is, man. That's just my opinion. It's Knicks Real Talk, and I like to keep it real. I try to keep it real from my perspective. You know what I mean? Because the experiment didn't work. If it would have worked, we wouldn't be where we at. We went from not in the playoffs, and the only thing changed that we didn't make the playoffs last year is the only thing changed. Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker instead of Elfrid Payton and Reggie Bullock. That's the only thing changed, except for the rookies we brought in. We didn't bring in no new people. Am I right or wrong, guys? We didn't bring in no new people except for Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker. We took out Reggie Bullock and Elfrid Payton, and both of them in the playoffs. They both in the playoffs. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. But you guys, we gonna get up out of here because we got to get to work, man. It was a great show. We can stay all night and do this. I know that we got to get up and get on our grind, man. But my man KJ started something though. He got the place on fire, man.
We on, man.
Hey, Sean Powell, give it to me, man. I know I've been going, man. I've been running, man. But
nah, man, you all good on that, man. Because I mean, I'm in the camp. I wouldn't want the Westbrook trade,
right?
But if we could get Evan Fournier and Julius Randle off our books, you know what I mean? And I think I threw Taj in there, so the salaries will match up. I'd run with that in a heartbeat, man.
KJ.
Hey, man, listen, we could all agree to disagree. This show is called Nick Real Talk. We're only gonna give you the Nick Real Talk, how we feel. Some things may not be fact, but it's how we feel. Anyway, I'm campaigning for Russell Westbrook to start next year. What y'all say? Anyway, Divine and Shop, thank you as always. Look, it's we Giant fans too up here. It's April 28th is Thursday. I'm not sure when our next show is, but I'm hoping it's not Thursday. Thursday's the show because
Thursday, Obi Toppin, player number 5, next end of the season player review number 5, Obi Toppin.
Yeah, we might come on a little early Thursday because draft starts at 8:00.
Okay.
We'll figure that out. Anyway, Devon and Shaw, thank you as always for letting me come on. Nick Real Talk again. Russell Westbrook at point guard.
He's the most powerful chat in the universe. Real talk. You cats are the wisest dudes, man. Like I said, you keep us guys on our P the Qs all the time, man. But you know what? It's all love, man. We just try to hit you in from every angle, man. You know what I mean? And between us and you guys, that's what makes the show solid, man. You cats is real talk. Y'all guys know your stuff. So we just got to try to maintain. You know how we do. But y'all cats be safe out there, man. Have a great week. Monday. Y'all go out there and get it popping, man. Y'all be safe on whatever y'all do, man. All y'all endeavors, be safe and all that good stuff. Thank y'all for coming in. Great show. I appreciate the energy, the love, the passion. Yeah, Jarvis, man. I'm glad. We sorry we missed you, my brother, man. But we be back in on the next one, man. Real talk, man. Julian, my brother, everybody, man. The draft gonna be interesting, man. Y'all tell me who you guys. Yeah, I hope y'all we get to get. You never know, man. We might jump up there, get the ninth, eighth or ninth. You know, you never know. We can get up to a good draft position, man. And walk out here with somebody good, but I'll be happy with that too. I'm all about the rebuild. I know we talk about Russell Brooks like crazy. Y'all know what I'm about. I'm about that youth movement. I want that youth energy up in the building. I want to see Obi Toppin, Emmanuel quickly, Quentin Grimes, Mitchell Robinson, R.J. Barrett, Cam Reddish, McBride, Deuce, all of them, dude. That's what I want. You know what I mean? But we'll see how the Knicks go. So y'all have a great night, man. Peace, everybody. Shaw Powers, KJ, my brothers, man. Once again, thank y'all. Everybody who came in, all the cats who haven't seen in a long time. I'm glad to see y'all up in here, man. It's all love. See y'all guys on Thursday, man. Knicks Real Talk. We out. Peace.
Yes, chat. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Like